Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now, do you know what? It's so funny having this orb weaver up here. Her web is all the way through here, and it's like I'm looking through a web. It's this strand coming through here. It's one of her anchor points, and she's up there. We'll have a little look at her in a minute. Right, but today, what we are going to do, we are going to have a look at a really nice baboon. The Bronze Baboon, which is the Harpactira namaquensis, and it is a really pretty little baboon. I do like the baboon spiders, and hopefully we will do a bit more with them in the future. I'd like to try and breed a few more different types of them because they really are quite a cool little spider. Now we've paired this one up, so she's been paired once. And we will look at pairing her again in the future, but we're going to have a little look at this. This is the first pairing for this one, and you see the size difference in them as well. Very interesting size difference. So yeah, without further ado, before this thing lands on my head, let's go and have a look at the Bronze Baboon first pairing. Well, today we are going to attempt to pair our Harpactira namaquensis, which is the Bronze Baboon from South Africa. As you can see there with the enclosure, this one was rehoused recently, a couple of weeks back now, and as you can see, we've kept it as a relatively dry enclosure, and then we just allow that water bowl and some of that moss. We spray the moss, and this gives us slight dampness to the soil, which I think, although these guys come from a dry habitat, I think it's important that they have a little bit of moisture within the soil. So we tend to keep this around about 50–60%, which isn't very much at all. To all intents and purposes, it is almost dry. So this is our male. As you can see, he's a rather handsome little fellow. Lovely gold carapace there. Now these guys have got tibial hooks as well, and we can just about make out the bulbous ends of the emboli. There you go. Now we've just moved over now, and you can see them emboli really clearly here, and also how bright that gold carapace is. And he's got a very slight gold tinge to the hairs all over his legs, so it makes him quite a smart looking little fella. I think many of these males go unnoticed. They are really pretty, and a lot of the males are quite highly coloured as well in different species. You can see them gold hairs now really clearly. Now we popped him in there, and our female, these guys are pretty much a fossorial spider, fossorial come terrestrial, so they spend most of their time holed up. You know, they'll make a web burrow and they'll hold away down there, coming out mainly of an evening and night time. Some do come out in the day. Our one chooses not to most of the time. Very rare we see her out. She is actually behind that piece of bark now, so she's ignored everywhere else to go, and she's webbed up an area between the glass and the bark, and she sat down behind there. Now our male is just going to go over and have a look now. It's important that we allow them to make their own way in their own time. You can see them hooks now very clearly. You can also see now as he's moving over there, that is pretty much almost the entrance to our burrow, just up against the glass there, and you can see the very faintest of vibrations coming from our male. He's not doing much. There you go. Very faint. It's difficult. Sometimes when you're looking at them, it's almost like you're not quite sure whether you saw it or not. It is that fine a movement. And this is interesting now. You see now he's actually checking his way where to go. He's laying web as well. You notice his abdomen there. He's laying web all the way. And we often see this with our males, and I'm sure they lay it as a means of an escape. They can follow that on the way out. Bearing in mind he's in foreign territory. Now he's literally just gone into the back there now, and our female will not be far away from where he is now. She is probably facing him in the burrow. And this is why it's important to let your male take his time. Now pretty much what you're seeing in this video is an actual in real time. This guy didn't take very long at all to get sorted out and feel comfortable enough to start searching for that female. There you go. Now he's probably made first contact there. Here she comes. Now look at the size of her in comparison to him. She has recently molted as well, a couple of months back. So she's more than ready, and you'll see there how willing she was. She literally came out, didn't put up any fight at all. Now our male is working away. He sees pedipalps moving there, and you'll also see that one pedipalp is moving and the other one is actually looking for that epigastric furrowing. Just about make it out, and I think he is actually inseminating now as we speak. And with the pedipalp that's not doing anything, that is the one that is constantly flicking and sending vibrations and what have you. So I'm pretty sure that he is chatting away all the time. You can see that outstretched pedipalp now, just underneath her abdomen. These seem to be very, very gentle. They're taking their time. She's not showing any form of aggression towards him at all. There you go. We've got insemination there now. Absolutely perfect. There you go. He's done the job. Now look, you can see he's backing away very, very carefully. You can always tell when they're finished. You can see their back legs start searching for the ground behind them. He's literally just holding her there now. There you go. Slowly, slowly backing away, keeping contact. Quite often or not, the minute the male breaks contact, that is when our female will react. So they maintain contact as long as is physically possible. He knows which way he's going. And as you can see, our female is in that sort of euphoric position at the moment. She is literally very relaxed and just sitting there. Here he goes. There you go. See how she lifted her legs up then to almost like a threat position, but not quite. And then that was the signal for him to disperse and go away. Now he is making his way out of the tank now. So when we get to this stage, we now would look at securing our male, or if he's climbing up the glass and heading out, we just let him get on with it. Because the last thing we want to do is for him to spook and fall back in, and then he may run into her and she might just launch herself at him. So we make sure that our male is nice and secure, and then we just wait for our female to do whatever it is she wants to do. We often see this with many of the baboons, and also the many of the other spiders. The Balfouri are very good at this. The females stay in that moment of euphoric sort of position with their feet up. You can see she's slowly, her legs are slowly falling down, and then she's gone. Look at that. Straight back into hiding. Well then, what did you think? I mean, that was pretty much, what you saw there was pretty much in real time. We probably, as you know, the pairing videos are the only videos that we actually edit. All the other videos, the rehouses, all that sort of stuff, we don't edit them at all. You see them as it comes. We just do them straight off the bat. But with the pairing videos, we do tend to edit those because there's a lot of downtime in a pairing video. Lots of time where not a lot's going on or much of the same stuff's going on. So you don't really want to watch 4 hours of it. So we tend to cut them down to try and make them into an interesting time frame. With this one, this was pretty much how it happened. I think we probably edited about 5 or 10 minutes out of it, which was just time where he was sat doing not a lot. Now, you'll notice that once he actually made his way to the back of the enclosure, where she was hiding, that's where she'd set up home. You notice he done very, very little. The vibrations that he was sending was so fine. As I said in the film there, sometimes you look and you're like, did I see a vibration there or not? It's so fine. And it's them little tiny telltale signs. I found it interesting that when he was facing the entrance to the burrow, and then he sort of veered off a little bit, and he was like, no, we're definitely going this way. There's stuff there, pheromones and bits and pieces that we just don't know about. And he is reading them to find his way into where she is hiding. And then sure enough, you saw how his posture changed, where he made first contact, and then she came out nice and gently. Then big legs came out, and straight away they were getting it on. And what a gentle pairing. Most people consider baboons to be a little bit spicy, a little bit fiery, but not the case. These were so gentle. I mean, very much. I've seen avics that have put up a bit more sass than these guys did. They were very, very gentle. So that was nice to see. And you see how he actually backed away at the end. He maintained that contact. It's so important. We've seen this time and time again now. As long as that male is maintaining contact, she stays relatively calm. The moment he lifts up, if anything's going to happen, the moment he leaves her contact, that's when things change. And as you saw there, the minute his foot came off of her, she brought her legs up, and almost like a threat posture, but it wasn't. She literally just went up like that, and then she held it there, and then he disappeared off, climbed out of the tank. We got him back in his home, and yeah, he lives to fight another day. So we will definitely be trying him again. We'll give him a couple of days, give them both a feed, and then we'll try them again, and hopefully we'll get them to pair again. Now, an interesting thing with which is something I think is worth mentioning, with the baboon spiders, many people keep them very, very dry. Now, I like to keep mine with a little bit of dampness in the soil, but not necessarily where they are. Where they actually set up home, keep that dry. But in the other half of the enclosure, I like to keep a little bit of humidity. So we're only looking at 50–60%, which as an air humidity is around about pretty much what most rooms are, especially here anyway. In the UK, most of them are sitting around about that. But it's nice to have that little bit of dampness in the soil. Should they want it, they can come over and make sure that they've actually got that in an area where they can hide as well. Because if it's right out in the open, they will sometimes choose to hide rather than have the ideal area, if you know what I mean. So basically it could be a slightly wrong environment, but they would still prefer to be there because they feel secure rather than anything else. So try and always make sure when you set up your enclosures that if you have a dry and a damp area, they have areas in which to hide in both. And then that way they can choose to be secure in the one that suits them the best. So yeah, worth mentioning there. Almost something worth thinking about. Now, that was a pretty quick video, and Christmas is fast approaching. It is fast approaching. We have not got long at all. Don't forget, we are going to be over on Scott's Inverts on this coming Friday the 20th, and we will be doing a live with Scott. And as far as I'm aware, I think it's going to be pretty much an open night, so we can have a chat about pretty much whatever you like. So, if you're doing nothing on a Friday, come over, join in with the chat, and yeah, any questions, throw them aboard. We can do our best to try and answer them, as we always do. And yeah, it should be a really, really good evening. So hopefully I will see you all over there. and it will be from then on, we will be on the countdown for Christmas. So, right, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll obviously have another one on Thursday before we have our live on the Friday. Not quite sure what we're going to do for Thursday, but yeah, come and tune in. Don't forget, hit the like button. You know, it's a crazy thing. Sometimes we are getting sort of like 5,000-6,000 views, but only, I don't know, 100 likes. Hit the like button. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know why. I'll be intrigued. I'm interested to see. Maybe we can change a few things, you know? We never know. Right then. All that being said, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. Oh, before we disappear, we will have a little look at this lovely lady one more time. All right, don't forget, love your spider, guys. And I'll see you soon. There she is, eating a whopping great big cricket. See you soon, guys.